It is the gift that keeps on giving between Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons and Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot said they were surprised when ahead of the Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins said he was dealing with an injury following that Week 10 loss to the Saints. Alex, are you buying anything that they are selling here? Has your opinion changed hearing them say this?
No. They are lying to you. They are lying to you again. And the only people who are still buying this stuff are either one, dumb, and I'm sorry to call you dumb, but somebody needs to do it, or two, you are so hopeful of finally, having some success in Atlanta. You can't see what's right in front of your face, that these idiots are once again lying to us. Now, I'll play devil's advocate. Maybe they didn't know. That's even worse. I'd rather them be lying about it. How could you see a quarterback do what he did from a 5-game stretch and not understand something was wrong, let alone those 5 games and all of practice? Every Falcons fan, every idiot like me holding a beer on a Sunday could see that guy was not right. That guy couldn't throw a fastball outside of the numbers. He was throwing lollipops to the Chargers that game. I don't know how anybody, and if they didn't know he was hurt, we have got to have questions about their eye for talent or their evaluation process, because they always talk about collaboration this, collaboration that. Nobody in this collaboration circle was like, hey, Kirk's, lost a few miles on his fastball, guys.
I mean, there's absolutely no way, and I'm right there with you, and I've said this from the get-go, there's no way they could possibly have not known. I mean, they see this guy constantly, and beyond that, the guy was on the injury report. Like, they knew, and then he said it was a clerical error, yada, yada. No, it wasn't. Like, he was on the injury report. He was receiving treatment for that injury, and then ever since that moment, he literally did not look like the same guy. We're talking about a guy who didn't have 3 consecutive games in his entire career, or maybe it was 2 consecutive games where he didn't throw a touchdown pass. He did that for 4 weeks, and not only what did he not have the stats to back up, there was every time he threw the ball downfield or outside the numbers, it was a changeup. It was not the same guy that we watched 5 weeks prior when he was one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL over a 5-week stretch. I mean, he set records against the Bucs. He played great against the Cowboys. Like, he was playing pretty well there for about 5 weeks. And then all of a sudden he looks like a shell of himself. Like, we all saw it on Sunday. They saw it in practice. He was on the injury report. They're just saving face, most likely because they don't want to go into this whole thing with the league where it's like, yeah, we knew his injury, but he didn't put him on the injury report because he was going to play, which could result in another loss of a draft pick. We don't have many of those. So I think it's more of saving face in that aspect. There's also the aspect of, hey, we knew he was injured. We went with him, and Michael Penix came out there and just showed that he could be a starting quarterback way better than Kirk Cousins could, especially with the way he played over that 4-game stretch. We probably cost our team a playoff chance sticking with Kirk Cousins, which is another bad look. But there's no way to slice this, spin this for the Falcons. It's the lesser of 2 evils, right?
I think they're choosing the right decision to just lie. And because I do believe that if they had internal discussions about a 75% Kirk Cousins is still better than 100% Michael Penix, and they're clearly wrong about that, that is a terrible process and a terrible evaluation of your 2 quarterbacks.
Especially after what we saw. Yeah. I mean, Michael Penix came out there and within, even when he wasn't out there light, like, he didn't throw a touchdown pass against the New York Giants, but you could just tell, like, that ball was coming out different.
Zach Robinson was calling completely different offense. And if that doesn't tell you that they knew, I don't know what does. The guy who talks to Kirk Cousins more than anybody throughout the week completely shifted his game plan. And while Michael Penix does have more zip, period, whether Kirk Cousins is 100% or not, there was a clear change in the way the Falcons were calling plays and what kind of plays they were calling.
Well, even for Kirk Cousins, like, they were calling different plays earlier when Kirk Cousins was right. Like, it wasn't just when Michael Penix. So there's just too many smart people. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say Raheem Morris doesn't know more about football than all of us are random people that could tell Kirk Cousins wasn't right. Like, he knows, Zach Robinson knew, the quarterbacks, everybody, single person in that building had an opportunity to see Kirk Cousins every single day, talk to him every single day, go through his head every single day. He is not this conniving liar that was able to just sneak this past everybody.
And all the Falcons fans who aren't mad at the team, but are instead mad at Kirk Cousins, let's just think that he could do all that stuff where he is lying, he is doing all this, he is manipulating the team. What the hell do you think he's going to do? What do you think he's going to do? It should be the Falcons' job to be able to realize the circumstances of him being a veteran with his successor waiting in the wings and knowing that if that guy gets the chance to get on the field, the veteran's job is over. He'll never get it back. That should be the Falcons' first thought, where it's like, Kirk is probably just hanging on because he doesn't want to lose this job. That should be the process of what this collaboration, not we're going to give Kirk the benefit of the doubt. He's a veteran. He doesn't want to sit on the bench, even if he is 75%. Like,
I mean, just think about
how are you mad at a guy for not wanting to, wanting to give up his job?
I mean, think about, and I know he has a ton more cachet just because he's what he's done in the league, but think about what Aaron Rodgers was trying to do after he tore his Achilles. Like, these guys, when they're at the end of their career, like, they are desperate to get snaps in. Like, if I fully believe if the Jets were still in playoff consideration, he would have came back with a torn Achilles 3 months later. Like, that's how desperate these competitors are to stay on the field. So you think just with a little bum shoulder and an injured elbow, Kirk Cousins was ready to say, well, my career's over.
I'm 75%, give the kid a spin. That is ludicrous to expect somebody to do.
Guess who was watching Michael Penix spin it all day behind him? Kirk Cousins, these coaches. So it lies at the feet of the Falcons no matter how you spin it. I think probably lying and just trying.
I think it's the best course of action.
Yeah, but either way, like
anyone eating it,
you should be seeing right through it.
Yeah,
you should be seeing right through it because there's no way they could have possibly thought he was 100% going out there every Sunday playing like he was. We're gonna switch gears coming after the break. A little Braves spring training. We haven't gotten a chance to talk about what we've seen through the first 2 spring training games.